It couldn't be your fault. When this life of mine will fall, it will always be my call. Trying to throw this shade on me, like they all hate on me. Don't bring that rage on me. Why they throwing shade on me, like they ashamed of me? I thought, what age are we? It's warm outside, and we all want shine. Let you know about it in the city, cause they in the crib this time. Whoa, got pics on the way like a vacay. Shoot photo with an AK. Got friends by my side, trying to have a great day. Then I wonder why they throw shades. Yeah, but it's all on me. Let them roam free like a European. Yeah, see me pick up the phone like I'm trying to holler home, starting to act like E.T. Yeah, rock them shades, now they can't see me. Trying to run away, but I'm not speedy. Need no fake, I just want what's real, and I ride that way till I'm free. Yeah, throw this shade on me, like they all hate on me. Don't bring that rage on me. No rage.
Nearly. Good evening.
Nearly. God, I so like that. Do you know what? It's amazing how your tastes in music change over the years. Because I used to be a rocker when I was a kid. I don't know about you.
I've always been a rocker.
Yeah,
I haven't quite got to your midlife crisis yet.
It's not a crisis, is it? It's just how the music changes. I'm really into the hip hop type of culture. Obviously, I was into the dance as well. But what was your last concert you went to?
It would have been Download Festival a couple of years ago.
Who was on?
I can't remember.
Oh, that's good
stuff. It was Iron Maiden. I don't know. I've been every year pretty much until recently, and then I got fed up of getting absolutely wet through.
When I was a kid, I must have seen Iron Maiden about 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. And I will like to go see him again as well. Do you know what my last concert was? Slipknot.
I last Slipknot. I've seen him a lot of times.
Yeah. I've always watched them on the Monster Download because they always have it on Sky Arts, don't they? Basically, and it's one of them where I tell you what, these look good live, and then they were on at Birmingham, and I thought I'm going to watch them, and I wasn't disappointed, mate. What a show they put on! I've got a clue what they're on about.
No, they're very good. And what I like about Corey as well, the singer, is he always promises to be at Download no matter what, every year.
Yeah, they put a good show on.
They do. Not everybody's taste. So yeah.
God, how hot was it today?
How what?
How hot was it today?
Yes, I know. I went out to my bike, got very warm. I don't know whether sunburnt or just hot on the bike.
Yeah. Big gardening.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, I told you, in midlife crisis.
What? I'm not going there. Don't these Sundays come around quick?
They do, yes, very quick. They do.
Yeah, we had it was Myriad last week, wasn't it?
We did, yes.
Give people an idea of the trade side, really. I don't think a lot of people know Myriad are and how big they actually are, really, to be honest, Shane.
No, and it's not until I watched after. They are very big.
Massive.
Yeah, Peter was very good, wasn't he?
Yeah, as far as Myriad, I have spoke to Peter in the week because we got the ramps out. It was, in the end, Paul and Lucy Anderson. And Pete got the ramps out. He gave me a trade deal on them as well, which was good of him. And he did get them on the Friday as well. So they got the ramps. But what we're going to do after we come out of lockdown, I've been speaking to Pete, and we're probably going to do a weekly giveaway with Myriad where he's going to pick an accessory or a gadget. And then what we'll do is we'll give it away each week.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And then we had Life Beyond Bricks, didn't we?
We did, yes.
Good, weren't they?
They were good, yeah. Got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, just to pack in and just basically you just go out on the road like they do, to be honest. It's really, really good. And to lead into that, though, Shane, we've got another couple the same, another great story. And it might, just chatting to them in the week, it basically opened my eyes where, we'll go into it more when they do come in, where young people, there could be another avenue, basically. I don't want to get too much into it, mate.
Yeah, I thought we'd struggle to find anybody younger than last week's guests.
Yeah.
To go motorhoming full time. But I was wrong.
Yeah, another great story there, mate. Another great story. And
You're
you're in control of the podcast tonight, aren't you? The YouTube tonight.
I am, yeah. That's why me and Jason weren't on there at the start, because I forgot to do that bit.
And that's why now you're on the left.
Yeah. And you're on the right. Oh, I got that right. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, we're going to get Lee on about 8 o'clock. So if around about 8 o'clock, get some questions in for him. Any technical questions, we'll get in and he'll answer them for you. If you want to be on the show, if you've got any questions, you can get in touch with me on Twitter. At Caravans and Campers at SY45RP. Just follow me and I'll follow you straight back. You can also get me on Instagram on @themotorhome_show. And another way, you can email us.
Yep, themotorhomeshow@gmail.com. Look at that, I got it all right. I'm pleased with myself now.
You did well there. It flowed.
I did.
It flowed.
And then we've also got the podcast as well, which you can listen back when you're on the road, especially when motorhomes are up and running again.
I don't think anybody might listen to us twice, would they, Shane?
No. But you never know. Some die-hard fans. My mum, my dad. They listen to it.
I haven't got any friends.
I'll listen to it again.
What's on tonight, Shane?
Okay, so tonight we've got Rebecca from A Motorhome Life of Hank and Marvin. They're on a few minutes. Then we've got Lee at 8 o'clock-ish. And then we've got Claire and Sam from Next Stop Everywhere.
I tell you what I have had as well, especially in some of my comments on YouTube. A couple of people have asking about what our relationship is. Basically, obviously, I own a company called Caravans and Camp. No, not that relationship. I own a company called Caravans and Campers Limited that sells motorhomes, campervans, and everything. And I have another company called We Buy Campers. Shane has his own company
called We Buy a Motor Caravan.
And basically, the way we met was obviously at the auctions, at the motorhome auctions, and then we just got on. We both had a vested interest in YouTube. We've helped one another's, and then with lockdown coming on, we decided to do this show. So as far as businesses go, we're not together in business wise. We are separate businesses. Do help one another out if we need advice on motorhomes and everything else, basically. Oh, by the way, I beat my record on Amazon last week.
Go on.
Right. Jake wanted a joystick for his PlayStation so he could use his birthday money. I ordered it at 12 o'clock. What time do you think it came?
5:45.
5 o'clock.
It's good going.
How good's that?
It's good going.
Yeah. I've ordered a football for Lily, and that was about just after 12. We should be still waiting for it to come. So they've let me down. But they have still got till 10 o'clock, though, in fairness.
Is it definitely coming today?
Yeah, well, it says it is. It says it's out for delivery.
Okay.
I'm going to be skint all to try and beat the record.
Yeah. It's good going, Amazon, to be fair, though, isn't it?
Yeah, ain't it just? You want to ask a question to everybody?
I do. Oh, yes, I do, yes. Okay, so what we want to know is, obviously, we're dealers and we deal with a lot of other dealers. We hear our side of the story, but I want to know what people's perceptions are on motorhome dealers, what people think about them and why. So if you can comment in the comments, and we'll sure read them out as we go through. I'm just going to say hello to a few people as well.
You've lit a flame there, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I mean, I'm welcome to abuse here. So we've got hello, Mark, Jim, VW Adventures, Lee and Laurie, Kobe the camper. You think that's a person or it's a camper van?
That's a camper van. I know Kobe. Kobe comments quite a lot on some of the YouTube stuff.
I know, but is it the camper van that does the comments?
I'm not even going to answer that.
Available today. Hi, guys. Are you ready for tomorrow? Yes, you're open tomorrow, aren't you?
Ooh, I'm opening tomorrow. I'm opening tomorrow. I'm going to work. Work. No homeschool. I'm off on one then, aren't I? No homeschooling or anything. Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think what's going to happen, Shane, I think we're going to be busy. I don't think we're going to sell many motorhomes. And I'll tell you why I don't think we'll sell many motorhomes is because nobody knows when the campsite's officially opening. Until they know when they're officially opening, I think that's when people start to buy. I think the reason why we're going to be busy is because we're really car dealers, caravan dealers, motorhome dealers are the only places that are going to be open. So it's an excuse for people to get out and go somewhere, mate. So that's what I think's going to happen.
Yeah, and hopefully they do end up buying at some point. Like I said,
I think it was when it's clarity on basically when the campsites are opening. Why drop a load of money when you don't know when you're going to be able to use the vehicle? Once you get clarity of when it's going to be opening. So, do you want to drop some more shout outs, mate?
Yes, mate. Okay, so we've got Stephen Haywood. Good evening to Ant and Deck of YouTube. Which one are you?
Who's Ant and who's Deck?
Ant's
Which
the big
one's
one.
Who's the one with the big forehead?
What, between us or Ant and Deck?
No, Ant and Deck.
Just brush that mop back and let's see.
No, Dad.
Wow, because it become a mullet. Carl Pierce, we are awesome. I'm guessing he's a motorhome dealer, do you reckon?
I don't know, mate. He likes his jet ski, though, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Pete Fellows, hi guys. Kobe the camper. It's Bob who drives Kobe. There we go.
Told you.
We've got a question.
What is the most reliable motorhome and how many miles are they capable of covering? Well, that's easy when they run out of petrol. Go on then, Shane. Most reliable motorhome.
I don't really know that one. I guess it's the better the made they are, the longer they last. As long as you keep looking after them.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword there, mate, because you've got either the chassis or you've got the motorhome itself. So your chassis is either going to be Fiat, Peugeot, Mercedes or Ford. They're all commercial built vehicles. They're all built to last as long as you service them regularly and also you do the cam belt on them. When it comes probably down to the motorhome side, Shane, what would you look at on that?
On the motorhome side, you just got to keep them getting them serviced every year. Yeah. Just check out for damp and anything that does start to deteriorate, get it replaced or fixed. You can't really go wrong, can you?
No.
I mean, obviously, our second guest, Rebecca, she's got something that she said is a work in progress, so we'll hear more about that later, but it shows how long they can last.
Yeah, because the commercial vehicles, Shane, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, got some more shout-outs, but let's have some more.
Yes. Scudden the Stigs. Evening all. Blake Four's on tour. Hi from Drew and Leon from Plymouth. Mark Ant. Yeah, Ant's the bigger one with a big forehead. Oh, they both got big forehead. Oh, I don't know. I can. Available today. Value for money before they go up. Value for money.
I tell you what I'm finding happening, Shane, on the inquiry side through We Buy Campers, and I don't know if you'll agree with me. The inquiries coming through, we're getting quite a few of people wanting to sell the motorhome, and they're asking stupid money for them, mate. Silly money. I think people think they're going to double in value on the prices. So I'm just waiting for them to get a bit of a reality check, and then I'll start to buy the motorhomes. I don't know how you found it on your inquiry side.
Yeah, very similar, to be fair. We've probably spoke to about 80 people since in the last 5-6 days and not been close to anything.
Yeah.
It's just daft things like there's 2-year-old motorhomes out there and they want more than they were when they were brand new, or you can buy them for brand new there. So,
yeah. And then I suppose they're looking at the dealer price as well and expecting to get the dealer prices for them as well. And I think that's what a lot of people are expecting. And I don't think they're going to go up that much at all, to be honest, mate.
I think they'll just level out. I don't think they will change much. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much new stock's getting turned out as well. Because that's the biggest concern at the moment, is the new stock's not going to sell as much as it did, especially with the lack of shows and so on.
Well, it's going to be interesting because next week we're having a catch up, aren't we, with Caravan, with Mark from the Caravan Place. He's opening up tomorrow, so he's going to tell us basically how his first week's gone. We're also catching up with Aaron from Camper Buyer as well, aren't we?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how their first weeks have gone. And our YouTuber next week is going to be a Wandering Bird.
Yep. Who we met at the show, didn't we? Briefly.
Yeah. In that little auto trail that I loved.
The F62.
Oh, what a nice van. If you want a two-berth, a little auto trail, what was it, F62?
I think so, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Good van, mate. That was a good, it felt good. It was just a nice van.
It was good. It was finished very well.
You didn't like it at first. You just criticised it, didn't you? Because I liked it. And then it came around. For the spell.
No, when I've had a look at it again, yeah, it is a nice little van for the price. To be fair.
Get some more shout out, mate.
Yep. Okay, so Mark, do you also sell common items people might need for vans? Well, you were talking about this earlier as a potential, wasn't you?
I have got an accessory shop on my website, but I need to develop it more and more, to be honest. But it's just time. And I was talking to you at the beginning of the show. There's so much I need to get done and build and to build up. But yeah, I do the odd accessories. If there's anything you need, people who watch us and everything, just give me a tinkle. Caravans and Campers Limited, go on the website, phone number's there, and I'll try to help you out the best as I can.
There you go. Going back to your little auto trail. Our auto trail's really getting worse in quality. What's your thoughts on that, Jason, with selling?
I think auto trails are overpriced, mate.
I
do think they're good quality as well. I struggle to sell newer auto trails because I think of the price. The 2001s to about 2008, I don't seem to have a problem. But a general rule, I tend to keep away from auto trails unless I brought them right, mate. The newer stuff. To be honest with you, so I can't really comment much about worse in quality. What about yourself?
Yeah, similar. I think there's a lot of competition for them, which makes it a little bit harder, and they don't tend to have the belts for the berths, which makes them a little bit harder.
It bugs me. If you're building a 6-berth motorhome, put 6 seat belts in. If it's a 4-berth, put 4 seat belts in. If it's a 3-berth, put 3 seat belts in. Just, yeah, you're right there. It annoys me. A 4-berth motorhome with side benches and no seat belts.
Yeah.
And you can't bill it as a 4-berth. It's a 2-berth. It's a 2-berth motorhome.
See, I can get away with the 4 berths with 2 belts sometimes because it's just how the lounge makes up. But it's when you've got the 6-berth with 2 belts.
It's such a grey area, Shane, though, isn't it? Because they say if you side on or you're back to the drive, you don't have to wear a seatbelt, a bit like a minibus. My argument is, Shane, are the insurance companies going to agree with you?
Well, for me, as a safety point of view, I wouldn't want to do that anyway.
No, not at all. Not at all. Especially children. It's just non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. No, not at all, mate.
I mean, I put my dog in a seatbelt and harness, let alone people.
Get through some more of these, mate.
Yep. What's your opinion on a Trusco motorhomes? Now, it's not something we've really come across at the shows, is it?
Didn't we see that A-Class one? Was that one of the first? Remember the first time we went to the motorhome show, and it was the first one we videoed, that A-Class.
Oh yes, we did actually.
Remember?
Yeah,
cheap build, but it was cheap price. Was it under 50k for an A-Class?
I don't know about that cheap, but it was. Yeah, it was. It's a part of the Heimer group, so they do a few little bits like that. So yeah. Life Beyond Bricks, hello. Apologies.
Hello.
hello. Peter, I have offered a motorhome for 7 days in July, including insurance waiver for 795. Is that good? That sounds about right. Sounds about right for the summer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously it's a seasonal thing for the motorhome hirers. So they don't get business all the way year round, and also it's high demand at that sort of time.
Yeah.
Joe662, hi guys. Lee and Laurie, they're all talking to each other in the comments here. Mark, people might buy to rent. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anybody will do that. It's not something I'd ever want to do. I think if it was my motorhome, because people don't always look after them how you want to.
If you buy the motorhome to rent and you've got to have an habitation done on it every year and a gas done on it every year, your typical caravan engineer will not be able to do a habitation check on that. They have to be gas safe to do the gas test on the motorhome. Same as if you've got a static van and you rent that out, you must have a gas safe person to do it.
Yeah, fair enough. Stephen, preventative maintenance equals reliability. At the end of the day, they are commercial vehicles and have been made to work hard. So yeah, that's going back to how long they can last, the motorhomes. Roy, hi, first time watching. Thanks for watching, Roy.
Probably last.
Yeah, and the last, yeah. Available today. Don't underestimate the supply and demand factor. The shortage will be there, and we think they will go up. Your thoughts, guys?
We don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I said to you before the show, Shane, I planned a write-off this year. Everything we do this year is going to be a bonus. I've wrote it off. We don't know. And like we were talking earlier about the prices of motorhomes, people want big prices for them. I'll set it out. I'll just sit out. I'll just wait.
Yeah.
And just wait it out and let it stabilise. I'm not going to pay silly prices, because if you pay silly prices for your motorhomes as a dealer and then the price stables out again, you're sitting on heavy stock that you're going to have to make a loss on when you sell them.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we all go to work to make a few quid, basically.
Yeah.
Mate,
okay.
have you seen the time? We're waffling.
I was just about to say yes.
We're waffling. So don't forget, if you want to be on the show, if you've got any questions you want to put in on the show, you can send me out on Twitter.
Yep.
All right, we buy.
That's yeah, on that one. Or
Caravans and Campers at SY45RP. Just drop me a follow. I'll follow you back and send me a question. You can also get me on Instagram at the Motorhome Man, and you can also email us, Shane.
Yep, at the motorhomeshow@gmail.com.
8 o'clock roughly, Lee's going to be in, so get your questions, your technical questions out for Lee. Shall we bring the first guest on, Shane?
We shall. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
Hi.
Good evening.
How are you? All right?
It's really weird seeing all my stuff because obviously I'm moving house. Well, I'm moving out. So at the moment, I'm in the process of using any little bit of space I can to get all my stuff in ready to sell.
There's somebody behind you.
She's my mannequin. She's called Manny. And she's got legs. I've hidden the legs. Yeah, I put all my dresses and things on her so I can take photos ready to sell.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Motorhome Life of Hank and Marvin YouTube channel.
Yeah.
How did it all start? Just before you start, we all see YouTubers on YouTube doing the videos and doing everything else. And it was like last week when we spoke to Life Beyond Bricks. It's nice to actually speak to people and get a good story and find out how things happened and everything. So sorry about that, but how did it all start?
My partner and I, we bought a American Chevy motorhome. It would have been 2 years ago, and we called him Hank the Yank. And it was fantastic. It was an amazing vehicle. It had 3 fan belts. When you were talking about fan belts, it had 3 fan belts. So when one went, if we didn't have a spare one, then yeah, the alternator wouldn't carry us home, and it was too wide to be towed. But we would go out every weekend. Every weekend would be stomping around the woods, going foraging, and we just made it our second home away from home. And it was just wonderful. It was our time, quality time, because Colin, we used to work very busy, very hard, and I would work as well. And so that time, I'd get home from work and he'd be like, right, come on, let's go. And I'd be like, what do you mean, let's go? Well, I've got Hank ready. And I'm like, oh no, I've got to pack a bag. Oh, I've done all that. Yeah, but we've got to go shopping for food. Oh, I've done all that. I was like, oh, okay, let's go. And then we just made a fantastic weekend and we had so much fun. that we decided that January just gone, we were going to go traveling for a year around Europe. The unfortunate thing was last year he was involved in a motorbike collision, which I just found out on Friday that the lady in question is going to be charged with death by careless driving, and he lost his life 3 days later. So of course, a lot of all our plans were just stopped. It was challenging for me because I couldn't drive Hank the Yank. He was his weight was too big for my license. So I decided that I wanted to carry on traveling and live out the dream that we had created together, but I just couldn't drive that vehicle. So I bought a vehicle. I bought a Swift Kentucky. He's 30 years old and he's called Hank Jr.
How come you picked it?
So the weird thing is that 3 weeks prior to his death, we went on holiday to Crete together with my sister for her 50th birthday. And Colin kept, you know, the cocktail stirrers that have got like little designs and things on it. There was one that he had that had 2 palm trees side by side, and he kept taking photos of it in different perspectives of the picture. And I was looking at a particular motorhome on eBay, and you know when it goes underneath and it says more like this, well, Hank Jr. came up and I saw the symbol of the 2 palm trees with a love heart round it, and that's what drew my attention to him. Nice, clean, tidy, great vehicle. Got it back. There was a few issues with it that's now we've rectified, but
It's on a Talbot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know the thing with the Talbots? If
Go
anything
on.
goes wrong with them, just hit them. Just hit them.
I will take a hammer with me.
There's nothing to it. That's when life was simple, Shane.
Yeah.
That's before my time. I remember them.
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't.
Do you know the great thing about it is that when I took it to get serviced, the engineer said to me, for a 30-year-old van, I've never seen an engine look so pristine. It's been really well looked after until I got my hands on it.
So you got the van back. So what happened then?
So I got the van back. I got him home, and for me it was really, really difficult because I mean I'm still not 100%, but I have a goal, and that's what's kind of spurring me on, because he was the love of my life, and he was just so much. He was so full of life that I admired that, and I want to carry on doing that, but I know that I couldn't do it alone. A few weeks after his death, I went to see my family in Nottingham, and Colin and I had spoke about getting a dog to go foraging with, that we wanted to do mushroom hunting. And
What type of mushrooms?
Oh, any mushroom, it doesn't matter. We know which ones to take and which ones not to take.
Are there some that are, in fact, just get off of mushrooms then? Are there some that are really poisonous then, or?
Well, all mushrooms have a toxic level in it. It just depends on how many times you can eat them. Some you can only eat once, and some you can carry on eating.
You ever made a mistake?
Yes, we did, but just the way that we cooked it, because we had a dehydrator, and some mushrooms you can dehydrate and regenerate, and some mushrooms you can't. So chick of the woods mushroom you can hydrate, and then they'll come back for stir fries and spaghetti bolognese and things. But like beefsteak mushrooms, you can't do that. You can't freeze them either. But yeah, we had so much fun. And then, yeah, so when I was in Nottingham, my sister kind of badgered me. She said, are you going to have a look at some dogs? And I was like, okay. And she kept going on and on at me. So I went online, and surprisingly enough, I found a woman who had beagle puppies. And my sister kept saying, have you rang them yet? Have you rang them? Oh, no, I haven't rung them. Oh, well, I'll ring them. I'm like, oh, no, I'll ring them. And I sent them a message, and it wasn't until the next morning. My sister said, have they got back to you? And I said, no, not yet. Right, ring them now. I'll ring them. I said, look, I'll ring them. And they said, yeah, you've got 10 minutes to get here, because it was only about 1.5 miles away from where we were. So I got there, and there was a boy and 2 girls left. And I'd already decided on the name. I knew what the name was going to be. But when I put my head down, they kind of looked at me, and this little girl just came dive bombing at me, bounced on my face, licked the hell out of me. And I thought, right, she's the one. And I named her Marvin. She's the non-binary beagle. So that's kind of where, so Colin and I, we had a Facebook page where it was called The Motorhome Life of Hank. So of course I just renamed it The Motorhome Life of Hank and Marvin. And yeah, I mean, I was hoping to go to, hoping to leave for Europe in September, because it's weird that about a week before Colin's death, we spoke about what we wanted to happen for each other. And he actually said that he wanted to be scattered around Europe, where we've been on our holidays. So I've got his ashes with me, and I've already done a few. But the idea was to go to Europe and revisit the places and scatter him along the way. And of course, with COVID hitting, I've not had a chance to do that. But I have scattered him in a few places. So I've shot him out of an air rifle. I've stuck him up in a firework. I've threw him off the side of a volcano.
Where was that?
So we went to Tenerife for his birthday a year ago, and he wanted to climb. So he had 12 things to do at 50. And so he turned 50 whilst we were there, and we went up to the volcano, but we didn't realize that you had to buy tickets. You had to do it online. So my daughter came. So COVID had just hit Tenerife, but the other side of the island. So I was supposed to go with Colin's mum and stepdad, and they declined because they didn't want to risk it because of their age. So we changed the ticket, and my daughter came with me, and I had such a wonderful time reliving the places that we'd been. You know, I even copied some of the photos that he did. We went to Mount Roja, the Red Rock, and he did this kind of pose like that. And so I got my daughter to take the photo. So I've got a photo of him and I side by side with each other doing the same pose with a year's gap. And, you know, these kind of things just kept me going. And I don't know, they're great at the time, but then when I get home, the fall is quite a lot, knowing that I've had to revisit that. But I think that's part of my healing process.
And is this where Marvin's come into now?
Yeah, so I got Marvin, she was 8 weeks old when I got her, and that was 3 weeks after his death. And I've got to be honest, if I don't know how I would have coped without her. You know, I was a mess. I was just on the sofa all day. I didn't really do much. I've lost a lot of weight. So, you know, what the times that she would jump on me and lick my face and kind of whine at me, I'm like, right, okay, get my arse into gear, get the lead and take her out for a walk. And now, you know, we do about an hour and a half's walk every day. And I absolutely love it. She's been an absolute diamond. I know that a lot of people recommend to get a pet, but I would really advise it for the healing. But with that, I didn't want our dream to go to waste. So, you know, I had Hank, and so prior to that, and I changed the names from Motorhome Life of Hank to Hank and Marvin. My friend said, "Come on, let's go out." And so I'd spoken to a few friends of mine who work in a couple of the TV stations in London, and I said, "I've got this idea. I've not seen it done before. What do you think about if I film myself going out and about in the motorhome, visiting pubs?" And they said, "Yeah, we really like that idea. Make some pilots up." And so we did 3 pilots. They were only 5 minutes long. And I just had so much fun meeting some amazing people. Marvin harassing everybody in the pub, licking them to death. And, you know, it was just, it was just wonderful for me to be able to get out, see people, and try the food, try the ale. I must admit, I did get a little bit tipsy, and yeah, some of the videos show that. And then obviously COVID hit, and I thought, so my background's hospitality. I've got a degree in hospitality, and I used to teach it in Devon when I used to live there. And I just thought, you know, hospitality and tourism is taking a devastating tumble right now with everything closing. What could I do to possibly help this and maybe restore a little faith back into holidays in Britain? And that's when I came up with the Guinness World Record idea.
This is your record you want to do now, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Now, it's weird because it doesn't sound like much, but nobody's actually done it.
It's not a record.
No, but exactly. So nobody's attempted it. So I'm going to be the first to attempt it, and I'm hoping that people will be inspired by it and want to take it on and maybe beat me. And I think that would be wonderful, because
have you had to get in touch with Guinness or something then, or what? How's it work?
So what I do is, so my partner has a Guinness World Record, and he burst 131 balloons with one breath of fire. And I thought to myself, do you know, if Colin was such an sorry.
You all right?
Yeah. He was such an inspiration that I just thought, if you can have one, I'm going to have one. And
so come on then, what is it? Tell us about it.
Okay. So I know it doesn't sound like much, but what I'm attempting is it's the largest pub tour in a motorhome. And I'm going to be visiting a minimum of 150 pubs in 12 months. And I'm going to be recording each pub, reviewing.
That's a lot of hangovers.
I'm going to be reviewing the food and drinks. I'm not going to be drinking every night because obviously I'm driving.
Yeah.
I'm not a big drinker. I'm really not, you know, a couple of glasses of wine and I'm all giggly. So so my dad's even recommended I get those little, I can't think what they're called now. They're like, what are they? A third of a pint glass, so I can just sample the beers without having to drink all of the beer, and the real ales, obviously. But one of the ones that I did, one of the videos, I think it was at the Bricklayers Arms, I put 4 different ales in front, and I tried to do a video thing where I drank them really quick, and then I filmed it and sped it up even quicker. And then right near the end, I slowed it down when I said, I'm getting a bit gassy. And yeah, I got very drunk.
So your plan is to do 150 pubs. Are you going to stop off at 150 campsites?
No. So, yes and no. I don't think it's 150. So I'm going to be doing 3 pubs a week. So I'm staying overnight at each pub, because the plan is to go to the pub in the evening, chat with the locals, chat with the owner, try some food, try some drink. And then the next day, I'm going to be going around the local area, filming what's there. So if there's any attractions, you know, what wildlife is there? Is any water? Is it suitable for fishing? Is it suitable for boats? You know, people with dogs, people with children, what the facilities are, because I just want to really boost hospitality, that, you know, we can have amazing holidays in Britain, but where can we go? And it's not always about campsites. Campsites are great, they really, really are, but I just want to add something in the mix that might be great to help a local communities, because pubs are closing down. They've been closing down at a rate of 1 every 3 days because of the beer taxes, whereas now COVID's hit, you know, I don't know how many pubs are going to be able to reopen. So the ones that are able to take part, you know, I'm going to give them posters so they can promote it. And so I'm contacting 387 local newspapers that I'm sending the press release out to. I'm in touch with Visit Britain. I'm in touch with various different businesses, because I'm hoping to get a couple of sponsors as well. And I just really want to bring bring back to life the local pub and how amazing Britain is. So the minimum is 150. I'm hoping to do more because I've got a podcast that I do every week. So I have to be on a site every Sunday and Monday. So that's why I've limited it to a minimum of 3 a week. But I reckon I should be able to do 4.
And then you're obviously going to video YouTube each one.
Yes. Yeah.
When you started?
I start on the 6th of October, providing everything's okay for that. I leave the house on the 18th of September, just after my birthday. And yeah, the house is taking me a lot longer. You know, finding the pubs and sending out emails, it's been very stressful with admin. But as you can see, I mean, you can't see all of it. I've got rail, I've got suitcase. I've got 7 bags down there. There's lots to sell. I'm selling furniture off very slowly. Car boots are going to be opening again on the 7th. So you will more than likely see me there at Sadler's Farm. Well, not starting off. I'm going to wait and see how people take the car boots before I start. Because, of course, the first one, they'll be able to work out about safety features and stuff for social distancing. And then, yeah, pretty much every week, I'm going to be at a car boot selling everything I own.
Where do you start this then?
So
is your route planned?
It is planned, yes.
It's all planned.
So
right.
I'm going to be visiting my folks and family in Nottingham, and my dad lives in Hucknall. So I'm going to be starting off in Hucknall, and I'm going to be coming down. So from East Midlands, I go up and round, then I go to East Anglia, then I go to the east of England, then I go to the southeast, then I go to the southwest. Then I go to West Midlands, and then I dip into Wales, and then come back into the top part, the south part of West Midlands, and then I go northeast, and then I only brush into Scotland a little bit because I'm actually quite concerned that Hank will die trying to get up any of the mountains in Scotland. But then one of the pubs that I'm going to is the tallest pub in Scotland. So I'm hoping it's a gentle incline. Otherwise, I might have to park at the bottom and see if a local will drive me back down at night.
That's a very good point. Have you got a backup plan?
Yes, I've got B&Bs that I've been looking at in and around those areas. Yeah, if there's any Talbot mechanics that can film and they're interested in a 12-month journey with me, I've got plenty of room. It's a 6 berth, or you can follow me. And you
won't need much room. You'll just need a hammer.
A hammer. That's a hammer. Hammer's all good. I do have one of those.
Well, but fingers crossed, you know. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, it'll be quite good then. Just filming from each pubs and everything else. Yeah.
Well, this is it. I'm going to publicize my journey. So, you know, if anybody, what would be wonderful is if anybody in a motorhome who is near that area or wants to travel to that area can come and join me on an evening. So it'd be really, really great to build up a community network as I travel. And of course,
I know what you're doing. You just want to get everybody there so they pay for your drinks. That's what it is.
I can't drink and operate a camera. You know, we'll all go Pete Tong at that point.
I have to ask you something now. Talking to YouTube, your last video.
Yeah.
Were they flexible solar panels you put on your roof?
Okay, so
can you just answer me that, please?
Yes.
Why did you attach them as if there was going to be a nuclear bomb dropped on it?
What do you mean?
She attached them that good. A nuclear bomb would have dropped on, and they still would have stopped on. And the flexible solar panels, she screwed them in, she glued them in, she knocked them in, everything.
Well, I don't know when you saw it that the brackets are actually hollow, and the surface area. I just thought that, you know, I'm panicky if I'm going to be driving at 50 and a wind comes in, because I kind of didn't. When I first saw these brackets, I thought these brackets can't be for this panel, and I'm Googling anything. I'm like, okay, fair enough, because I could not find any more brackets. But then some of the groups that I'm in on Facebook, they said just glue them on the top. And I thought, well, surely you don't glue solar panels because they need some air underneath to be able to keep them cool. So when I did the video, I've got to get their name right, because they've been absolutely amazing with me, really, really helping me. and their name is John Mandy on Tour. Big shout out to John Mandy on Tour, because he gave me a load of information. And so what I had to do was I had to raise the panels up. So I cut pieces of wood, and you know what, I'll tell you something, I didn't even work out where the hole needed to go. I just looked at the wood and I thought where they should be, and I drilled the hole, and lo and behold, thank you, they actually all fit. So I was really, really surprised, and how wonderful that was, because I put them all in. I'm like, bloody hell, they all fit. So what I did was I raised it up with 2 blocks on each corner, on each bolt, and then I made slats to go over each middle like a bed, and then I put the panel back on top of that, and I bolted it back on. And the reason why I put the bolts underneath was, you know, if the panels get damaged or in any way, then I can just take them off and replace them. And that's
I'll give you your dues. Your wiring and trunking was quite good.
Thank you. And then I realized that I'd put it in the wrong place. That the did you like the little Marvin clips that come up saying she doesn't know it yet, but the shelf's not going to be able to open the full way with where she's put it. So I'm actually, that bit of trunking, I'm going to use some of those Velcro stickies so I can take that off if I need to lift it up, because John obviously recommended to me that I needed a fuse box. I've just ordered a fuse box. So there will be a second version to that video.
She even had a pink screwdriver.
Do you know, that screwdriver is absolutely useless. And so I bought it from Lidl's or Aldi years ago. And I'm going like this. And as soon as it gets to a point where it just doesn't want to go, it stops. So I'm going like this. And then I think at one point I look up at the camera thinking, oh my God, I'm still filming this. I'm still going like this. Yeah, you need power tools. Don't get anything girly.
How many leisure batteries have you got?
I got two leisure batteries.
Go on then. How did you wire them up?
I wired them up wrong. So what I've done is, well, the only thing, I don't know the exact name of how I've wired them. Let's just call it wrong. And
you've basically done the positive and the negative onto one battery and then sent the wires over to the next battery, haven't you?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, everybody does it. Yeah. Everybody does that.
So luckily enough, I've got my wonderful newfound friend called John, who all I need to do is get the negative from the van and extend it to my second battery. And that's pretty much all I need to do. So yeah, that's going to be my revision video. And I've also got a new video about the leak that I had and what I did with this leak and my experiments to find where the leak was coming from. I had to plug up a lot of holes, and but I found it in the end.
Do you know what? Fair play to you to actually get up and do that solar panel. Fair play to you.
Well, I cleaned the roof. I painted the roof, primed it. I got it all painted ready. I've done everything. I mean, there's a video on YouTube where you see the work that I've done inside of Hank. You know, I repainted it. I laid the flooring down. Yeah, I put up shelves. So I extended cupboards. So my kitchen cupboard, I couldn't lay my plates down flat. And there was an original, it kind of had four cup holders in it. And then you had the plates upright. So I had to take that out, and then I've extended that cupboard so I can fit things flat, and I've got a bit more space for food. And then the cupboard above the U shape, I've extended that all the way out because I've got a lot of radio, well, all my podcast equipment and my filming equipment. I need to keep it down low because it's quite heavy. So that's going to go underneath the sofa. So where am I going to put my bedding? Because I've used the cab, the bed above the cab is now storage. So I extended that cupboard out. So that's all my bedding in there. So I'm trying to save as much space as I can without creating issues. That makes sense.
They're a good solid van though. They built them properly then.
Oh God, yeah, they definitely built it to last. Getting some of the bits of wood out was challenging. Definitely challenging. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, Motorhome Live with Anchor Marvin, go check out the videos, especially the solar panel one. We'll probably see a part 2 on that.
You will.
You've got October. Will you be posting every week? your tour?
Yeah. So what I want to do is on a Sunday, I want to create maybe like a half an hour or a 45-minute podcast of the 3 pubs that I've done. I'm going to be doing a blog as well, and at the end of every month, maybe I can do a little brief thing on your show just to say the best place in whatever shire I'm in at the time. And I really want to recommend these pubs because, just to reiterate again, pubs are, for small communities and villages, the pub is the heart and soul of a community. And if we don't help them carry on and survive, then that village or that local community will miss out on something so wonderful, because it brings so many people together.
Yeah.
And if I can recommend places, and when I publish the map, if you want to follow me and come along and join me, please do so. It'll be a great opportunity to meet everybody.
It is something we've spoke about, Shane, isn't it? Obviously, if the show lasts that long. It's obviously like yourself, like Next Stop Everywhere, like Life Beyond Bricks. We would like to keep on touch with them whenever they are traveling around, and hopefully bring them on for 5 or 10 minutes to see where they are and just see what they're doing. And I think people are interested in things like that, because especially with Life Beyond Bricks and Next Stop Everywhere, to do what they're doing, mate, fair play to them.
It takes a lot of courage to do that. It really does. It's one hell of a change.
Yeah.
It really is. But yeah, it'll be great for you to promote all these pubs, especially the ones that you're going to let you stay in the car parks, because the campsites are probably going to be pretty damn busy when it does open up.
Well,
so there's going to have to be other places for them to stay.
I've got to try and ensure that I book places in that area for the Sunday and Monday. Because I need to be stationary while I upload and edit all my footage. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody. You won't believe how much organisation is going in behind the scenes of all this. It's phenomenal. I mean, for the last month, I've been contacting pubs and businesses and getting the map ready. I did one of the regions, the wrong way round. So yeah, it's been hectic, but it keeps me busy. I've got nothing else.
There's much more to do, is there?
No, exactly.
Oh, brilliant! Been brilliant, Shane, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. What an amazing story, eh?
Thank you.
So yeah, keep in touch with us. We can follow your journey round. So let's see if you beat that record. If you're anybody who's watching, you're in the area where she's going to be, go down, say hello, and everything, and we'll try and, like I say, we'll try and feature on the channel where you are each week and everything. That's been brilliant.
It would be amazing if I could go live from my phone with you guys, and I can be in the pub, and I get the pub to cheer along.
Yeah, that would be good.
I'd have to have a drink, Shane. We'll do it at
the
end.
Just do the show straight from the pub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All together, we'll
just go sit at a pub.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been brilliant anyway. So keep in touch with us, and we'll speak to you soon.
Excellent. See you then.
See you later.
Thanks, Rebecca. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So anybody else who's got a story to tell? I love these sections, mate, where, like I say, you see people on YouTube, and then when you actually start talking to them, the different stories, they're great stories, mate, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They really are. I mean, you're going to take some beating, that one.
Yeah. The heartstrings went a little bit, matey, didn't they?
No, I know.
Yeah, so yeah, if anybody wants to be on the show, anybody wants to ask a question, it's quite easy to do. Basically, follow me on Twitter.
Yep.
I know what you're doing. You're trying to catch Leo. That's what you're doing.
I'm on my checklist. I'm going through the show.
So anybody who's sitting in the lounge, be prepared, because we are going to try and catch you out. Follow us on Twitter.
Think about it.
Follow me on Twitter, Caravans and Campers. It's SY45PR. Give me a follow. I'll follow you back. And then if you want to ask a question, if you want to be on the show, by all means, you can get me on Instagram at the Motorhome Man, or you could just email us.
Yep, the motorhomeshow@gmail.com.
Don't forget we're going to get Leon in a minute. So we need some shout outs, mate. Well,
we shall do, yes. We'll just go back.
Didn't go very shouty out when she was on, because I think a lot of people will listen to the story, mate. And I like that.
Yeah.
The comments stopped, so obviously people were interested in the story as well.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, which is it's a good story to tell. And Yeah, yeah, amazing, really. It really is. Okay, so we've had that one, so let's just go to the next.
No,
No, we did that one before, didn't we?
oh, did we?
Yeah.
Don't underestimate the supply and demand factor, the shortage there will go. We've done that one, Shane.
I know we haven't, just testing you.
Do you know anyone northwest that do wrapping on a motorhome? Wrapping?
No. It's something I was talking to my neighbour about the other day, actually, because obviously until recent years they've all come in white. So if you want something a bit different, just to put a bit of different colour, I mean, it's like the Auto Trails. What have they got now? 8 different colours you can choose from.
Yes, yeah, we covered that in the video, didn't we? With the show, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Went
And funnily enough, it's some of the old Adrias and bits like that seem to sell well because they've got the silver sides and so on.
yeah, everything's white, isn't it? Really, sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
What are your thoughts on the Roller Team Pegaso 745A class? Are they good motorhomes, Shane?
We haven't had too many of them, but they're always between them and Mobile Vetta. I think they're quite similar, really. They're quite modern looking inside, nice, bright and white with the lights. But yeah, in terms of anything else, what do you think? Do you know much about them, Jason?
No, I haven't come across them at all, mate. So I can't really comment there.
No, okay, fair enough. Mark, people without jobs might lap up caravans and motorhomes to live in. Yeah, it's a lot more cost effective, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's something we'll get into in a bit, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it is something.
Yeah. If you go on, Jason.
If you had 100k, what A class would you buy? I think the problem there, mate, you're talking between the 120s, 150s, aren't you?
Yeah.
The Cathargos.
It's a big old. God, you don't know where to start because there's so much variety at that sort of price, isn't there?
Yeah. It's very hard to ask questions to us like that because it's all about layouts. It's all about your layouts. The biggest thing when it comes to buying a motorhome is one, your budget, and the other one is the layouts. A layout that I might want, and the people who will be going away with me will be different to say, you, Shane.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and just coming on to that subject, I am doing a video on YouTube on Wednesday night, which is all about layouts as well. I'm going to cover all the different type of layouts in the motorhomes, but layouts is your big one. So, me and Shane might be have this 100 grand, and the type of motorhome I want will be for a family, where it's Shane will be for the two of you and the dog.
Yep.
So, yeah, difficult. Another one?
Yep. Chris, hello from the Camping Crew Podcast Island. Loving the banter. Looking forward to a motorhome life of Hank and Marvin.
Islands, eh?
Yeah. I'm sure I've seen one in South Africa as well, which is a regular, isn't it?
Yeah, he's on every week. Byston Blinkard. Sorry a bit late, guys. Watching Tread the Globe here now. Martin Jude from sunny Lincolnshire. Yeah, Tread the Globe. Shane, I don't know if you know this. They were doing a tour in a camper van all around Europe, and they're stuck in Turkey at the moment.
Right.
So I think they've been there for a good month, mate. Stuck there, and I think the community there have really rallied behind them as well.
Okay, good.
So nice people.
Yeah, Charlie and me. Hi guys, greetings from Charlie and our camping vlog on YouTube. We'll have to have a look at that one.
Charlie and our camping vlog. We'll have a look.
Another one that's been watching Tread the Globe and the Motorhome Show.
Because that multitask, I couldn't do that.
What are your opinions on new Roller Team motorhomes? Have you come across many?
A lot better than what they used to be, though.
Oh yes, they used to be.
We had a look at the show.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you go back 30 years, 20 years, 30 years, it used to be terrible.
Yeah.
They really did. Now, something I saw coming up when Rebecca was on a minute ago, dogs choose you. They really do. It's something anybody who can get a little bit down, depression, anything like that, what a dog can do to your life, it is incredible. Every time you walk through that door and that dog looks at you with its tail wagging, it just makes your day so much better straight away.
I'm under so much pressure, Shane, to get a dog. I'm being pressured. I am. I'm being pressured.
What are you thinking? Do you think you'll pull the trigger,
I'm
or
not thinking anything.
well, not pull the trigger, but it's probably the wrong phrase.
I've told them if they want a dog, then the cat goes. There you go.
How old's the cat?
I don't know. About 12 years, I think.
Okay.
So fingers
The
crossed.
dog might like the cat.
It's another mouth to feed, though, isn't it? The cat actually gets fed regularly. I do. There you go, Byston Blinkard, Cape Town.
Yep, there we go.
I'll be packing. I fly back. Oh, fly back home tomorrow. Oh, well, good luck on it.
Yeah. And also, they said be able to finally get some booze tomorrow. Nearly 2 months without it because they haven't been selling booze in South Africa, have they? In Cape Town. If you remember that.
Yeah, he mentioned that. Yeah.
Okay. Right. I think it's time to bring Leon.
Just a quick one in the comments, Reynolds
Go on.
Lil.
Where's that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Dad. Don't forget we have to finish the garden off. I don't know if you were listening, Lil. He did say in the private chat that he would get a dog sometime soon. So
No, I
just be
didn't.
aware of that.
Shall we get Leon?
Yep. Let's get him on.
Yeah. We've got a question there for Jim Page. For Lee.
Yep. What do you think of the new grey waste toilet system coming next year? Let's bring him in.
Hi.
Evening, gents.
You all right?
You all right? Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Oh dear.
What do you think?
Sorry, just quickly. If anybody's got any questions for Lee, just get them in the comments now, and we'll read them out for him to answer.
What do you think of the Thetford new grey waste toilet system, Lee?
Do you know what? With everything that's been going on, I haven't actually seen it as yet.
Yeah, there's a couple. Thetford have released a couple of videos of it, haven't they?
Yes, I have seen bits of it.
What do you think of it, the tune?
No idea.
Do you know the best of it is I'm actually a Thetford warranty agent, and they've not sent me those videos. That's how it works in this industry, unfortunately. You normally find out all this stuff off the internet, off everyone else, before you actually see it yourself.
Are you busy?
Back to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of questions here. Fridge will not light on the gas.
Go on. And does it try? Does it try and fail?
It's igniting, but you can hear it ticking, but fridge won't light on the gas. It's just somebody's asked me, that was all.
What type of fridge do you know?
It's a three-way fridge, isn't it? Electric, gas.
It's going to be one of those nights, is it? Depends on the model of fridge. It's with...
What would be your process of finding out?
Well, you've got to check you've got gas coming through the burner system to a start.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with gas is gas fridge parts. People don't tend to use them very often, so they get corroded up, they get gunked up. And then when someone does try and use them, they won't light. There's not a strong enough flame on them. Sometimes they do light, but there's just not strong enough flame because of debris and things that have dropped off the burners to, allow the thermocouple to hold open to keep it lit. Of course, when you've got that sort of issue as well, you've got the problem of you maybe having a incomplete combustion. So, you could be having carbon monoxide issues. If you're having any issues with anything with gas on a fridge, because it's something that people tend to take out and mess with themselves, I would definitely recommend getting someone qualified to check it.
I think a lot with the fridges, though, Lee, it's lack of use, isn't it?
Yeah, it is lack of use, but
normally an airline, isn't it?
Yeah, you could. The trouble is, people jump straight on an airline and blow across the burner. What that can do is it can actually release debris from up the chimney of the flue, which will drop on the burner and can actually make things worse. So, to do it properly, the fridge needs to come out. You need to check the burner. You need to clean the flue, and basically give the fridge a gas service.
Yeah. Have you got any questions coming in, Shane?
Yep. Yeah, just going back. There's the answer. No booze since the 15th of March. Fraser, hi guys. Citroen, Fiat or Peugeot, best maintenance parts extra. Which would you recommend? Love this channel. Thank you guys. You come across this side of things, Lee, much or?
No, I don't really have anything to do with the vehicle side of any of the vans. I'm more the habitation side, and we were actually talking to Jason's mechanics. I dropped my motorhome with him yesterday to have a job done on it. So I said to him it'd be a chance to make himself famous and come on here.
Yeah, with Fiat and Peugeot, I think they made it the same factory, aren't they, Shane?
Yeah, they're just rebadged a little bit different, aren't they?
Yeah, there's no real difference between Fiat and Peugeot, and as far as parts, they're just like the Ford. There's plenty of parts. There's off the shelf and everything. So as far as parts, there's not really a problem there.
Yeah. Bob Earnshaw's just helped us out with so this new Thetford waste system, wasn't it? So it makes it more like the American dump system.
I'll have a look at that later.
Yeah.
Do that for next week, Lee, can we?
Yeah.
Yeah. David Orm. Hi, Jason, Shane and Jason. David from Alcove. Chasson 3-year-old 630 on a 170 Ford. Have today found when cleaning the heat exchangers, fridge freezer on our Chasson. Is it a problem on all motorhomes? David. I'll let you read that one back.
What do you think there, Lee?
Be getting at them, wouldn't it? That'll be the biggest problem.
Where are they?
To get at the heat exchanger fins on there behind the vents on the back of the fridge. So
yeah, it's a fridge out job, isn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, you don't want to be taking fridges in and out just to clean fins. They're a room sealed appliance. You've got to make sure the heat exchanger fins.
Yeah, that's what people forget as well. They think you just take them out and just put them back in again, but you've got to room seal them, haven't you?
Yeah. If the fin pipes are corroded, crikey, on a 3-year-old van.
Is there? What do you think the sink might be above the fridge and there's been a leak?
Possible. If it's a fridge freezer, I wouldn't say so though.
No, it wouldn't.
I wouldn't say so if it's a fridge freezer. No.
Yeah. Well, not after 3 years.
I wonder if it's working okay, because sometimes you can get a little hole in the system which will leak the actual fluid out of the heat exchanger, and that can make it look corroded. So I wonder if it's actually working properly. I mean, if it's under 3 years old, it'd be a warranty job anyway.
Yeah. Jason, I think you had another question.
I've got one here. Yeah. What would be your advice on putting an awning up? And this is from a chap in Shropshire.
Don't have a film crew behind you. I knew you were going to say that. measure again. And then
I stopped him just in time before he was about to drill. I said, have you checked that, Lee?
When Rebecca was talking about the holes for the solar panel a minute ago, I saw you smirk, and I really wanted to bring Lee in right then.
What we did, we actually marked it all right. He picked probably the worst van to want to do a film on because of the banding around the top drops to the back end. So once we'd got it all sort of where we thought it perfect for it, when we measured up again for the awning, it was going to catch his top banding, so we had to drop it ever so slightly. And when I remarked all the holes, and then we said, right, let's have a bit of dinner. And then went away, come back, and I went to drill the top holes that I'd originally marked. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's just stopped him in time, but it just proves it, doesn't it? It's measure, remeasure all the time.
It's easy done.
Yeah.
Even to the best of us.
But it was what it was, Shane. It was an auto sleeper, and there was a beading above the hab, and we've got
there was an awning light that was in the way.
Yeah, so we had to take the awning light out, and we had to get it just right below the beading, but also allow over the top of the awning as well.
Yeah,
We
okay.
did get it spot on, mate, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the end.
And the light
You're-
perfect back by the side of the door.
But like
Like
a good engineer, he had to blame me.
Actually, I blame
Just watch the
Kev,
film.
the cameraman. I blame
It
Kev, the cameraman.
It reminds me a bit of Only Fools and Horses with the chandelier. If you've seen that one, where they're at the top and they hit the arm, the chandelier falls down, and they're underneath a different one downstairs.
Just a quickie. Anybody watch the spaceship?
I saw it last night. Yeah, saw
I
both.
watched that.
Did you watch the takeoff
Yeah.
on
I
YouTube?
saw bits of. I didn't see it from the beginning. I saw it about 10 minutes in, but then we saw them both last night.
Yeah. And then, did you watch it doc today?
No, I've been paddleboarding today.
But but the computers have sent that ship up and docked that ship. It was done
Right.
at Thomas. Yeah, basically, they didn't pilot it. They took over at certain points to do tests, but it was all done by computer. But that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
16,000 miles an hour it was when it was going up into space. I think it got into space in about 10 minutes.
Incredible.
That's some speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it truly a dirty satellite dish can affect reception?
I've never heard of that. I mean, the satellite, it'd have to be severely dirty,
Yeah.
and something blocking the satellite and the LMB, really. No, it wouldn't really. And most satellite dishes sit down onto the roof anyway, so they shouldn't really get that dirty.
Well, I've had some dirty satellites these last few weeks. Ones that have sat there for like 3 years without moving under a tree. I really have. Alex, it's not a technical question, but I bought a new Lunar Roadstar based on the Fiat Ducato 2.8 JTD. One over 2003, 26,000 miles. That's nice and low, isn't it?
Indeed. That's good mileage.
Yeah.
2.8 as well. 2.8.
That's
Good
what
engine.
I've got.
You've got the same, haven't you, mate?
I've got the Lunar Roadstar, which is the Ducato 2.8 JDT.
Yeah, it's got the
Once-
overforward, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a lovely van.
Facebook, Albi Caravan Services Limited, or his website, Albi Caravan Services, if you need Lee or need any help or advice.
Before the madness starts tomorrow.
So,
How far-
have you heard of many storage sites opening, Lee, from tomorrow? Or?
Yes, storage sites are pretty much back open. A lot are still working on the one in, one out sort of, or by appointments. But yeah, majority of storage yards are open now. Sites obviously aren't open, but a lot of the sites where I've got seasonal vans, I've spoken to the site owners and they're allowing me on to go and do the service. And either, customers are posting the keys to me, or, they've got keys on site already. So yeah, it's slowly but surely, it's all starting to open back up.
Just a quickie, I did have a question from YouTuber BamOG, which is quite an interesting debate, actually. Once you've set your motorhome off and drive off site, would you leave your water pump on and heating on in the living area, Lee?
Sorry, say that last bit again.
Would you leave your heating on in the living area and your water pump on?
On whilst you were driving?
Whilst you're driving, yeah.
No,
I wouldn't.
I'd never have any. It'd have to be running on gas. I'd never use any gas appliance whilst you're driving.
No.
There's
no reason to, though, is there?
No. If you want heating on whilst you're doing that sort of thing, get like an Eberspatcher or something like that you can, like a cab heater type thing that, want to put one of those in. But I mean, there's no reason really to. Your fridge will swap over to 12 volt. I mean, I hear of people wanting to run the fridges on gas while they're driving along because they think it'll work better than it will on 12 volt. Once your fridge is cold, it's only got to maintain that temperature, And, your 12 volt will keep that fridge cold as long as you don't open the door for, 8-10 hours.
Yeah.
And then
that's cool box in the world, isn't it?
Yeah. There's no need to run things on gas when you're driving along. And if you have got to run gas whilst you're driving along, then you've got to have crash safe regulators and hoses.
Yeah.
It's like leaving the water pump on. They're not like houses, Lee, are they? Where we've got copper pipes, brass fittings. In motorhomes, it's all plastic pipes, plastic push fit fittings, and leaving your pump on all the time under pressure. You don't need to. Switch the pump.
You
off.
imagine driving down the motorway 60 mile an hour, and your water system develops a leak, and your pump suddenly starts emptying the tank over the back of the motorhome. You're gonna panic, aren't you? You'd naturally panic. And when you're on the motorway, you don't need that sort of distraction. Now, I'd switch everything off when you're driving.
Have everything primed up and ready to go, and then switch it all off, and then you're done, aren't you?
Beers in the fridge. That's it.
And in the cool box in the garage, and don't want to run short.
And the optics cupboard.
Yeah.
Fraser Collins asked if the Rocket was a Citroen, Peugeot, or a Fiat. They were actually Merlin engines.
I think it was an Audi.
No, they were Merlin engines. And here's the other one. When the rocket went up, the rocket part itself that detaches, right? They had an autonomous boat out, and it landed back onto the boat.
Full of it today, aren't you?
I was mesmerised with it, mate. Mesmerised. Absolutely mesmerised. Plus, it was an excuse not to do the gun.
Do you know what? This is why I look up to you, Jason.
Intermittent. Do you know anything about alarm sensors, Lee, in the cab? The small mic ones?
That's more on the vehicle side of things.
That's your excuse.
Little mic ones. Yeah, they are. They're on the vehicle side because they're part of the vehicle alarm, aren't they?
What about alarms on the roll in motorhomes?
Oh, they're a pain in the backside. The big problem I've got now, going back to work, is people haven't been at the vans for a long time, and the vans, no one's been near them, so their batteries are low, their alarm batteries are flat, and obviously, like the Sergeant alarm system, they recommend after 3 years change the battery in the alarm system. A lot of people haven't, and now those batteries are, I think I've got about 5 to order that need new batteries for their alarm systems. That's just off what I've heard spoken to over the last couple of weeks to go back, really.
To be honest with you, Lee, I think when it comes to alarms, I think visual deterrents are much better than alarm, like a good wheel lock, locks on the habitation door, because thieves are opportunists, aren't they? And if they can see it's going to be hard work to get into it, it's like, move on. No one can see the alarm, can they? But a nice, good quality wheel lock, like spend 120 quid on a good one. And they do the door ones for the habitation doors as well, don't they, Lee?
Yeah.
Let's
That's it.
be honest. When you hear alarm, how many actually go out and have a look?
Yeah.
If you hear a house alarm, do you go out on the street and check which one it is?
Shout out the window, shut it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everybody just lets it get on with it, thinking something wrong.
Yeah. Anything else? Can't believe the number of people doing van conversions. The best one I've seen is a VW Crafter long wheelbase. Do you get involved with these, Lee?
Right, I don't, but my mate has actually just bought one. Right, his wife wants a motorhome, and they came away with us last year, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I want a motorhome." They looked at several. He wanted something completely different to her, which is the norm. He's gone out and bought a VW Crafter sports home, and she's seen it, and she's gone absolutely ballistic. He's basically bought a motocross van so that he can go away with his crosser, and she is absolutely fuming. And he won't even speak about it at the minute because he's still in the doghouse a bit over it.
The thing is, Lee,
it's a good build, though. It is a good build.
The thing is, blokes don't buy motorhomes. It's the women who buy the motorhomes, who pick the motorhomes.
Well, to be fair, I bought ours without my wife even seeing it.
Oh,
But she said, her words were, if I don't like it, you're going to be living in it.
Hi, Lee. I've been taking Hank Jr. out for 20 minutes drive each week. Is that enough movement whilst I'm not using it? That's from Rebecca, who's just been on.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good idea. You need 15, 20 minutes to get some charge back in the batteries.
20 to 30 minutes, don't you think?
Yeah. You'd need to be doing that really just to get some charge back in, and keep a check on everything really.
And on to batteries. Watching German YouTubers, it appears many German motorhomes are changing to lithium leisure batteries. Are they worth the expense?
I don't think so. The biggest problem is people don't tend to care for the batteries properly anyway. As a rule, some people do. They put solar panels on and things like that. But a lot of people will park the van up and then don't touch it for weeks and weeks and weeks. If you look after a leisure battery, it can. I mean, the one we had in our caravan it must have been about 8, 9 years old, and it never let us down. Touch wood. I'll go to the motorhome tomorrow and it'll be dead.
Just get a solar panel, Lee, isn't it, really?
Well, we never even had a solar panel on the caravan. It was just a case of, maintenance of the battery, regularly topping it back up, making sure everything was switched off so there's no drain on it. I mean, a good tip is to just take, the negative off if you're going to be leaving it for a long period of time, and just leave the negative off so that nothing's going to drain off it. Obviously, if you've got a tracker on, that's going to cause you a problem, but...
Yep.
Yeah, definitely drive it.
Yeah, Bob Earnshaw, better to take it out for a drive than idling it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move on.
Yep.
Right. Well, I'll speak to you in a bit, Lee.
All right.
Speak to you in a bit.
Stay awake. Right.
All right. If you want to be on the show, if you want to ask a question or anything else for Lee or for any of us, or like I say, you just want to tell your story, if you're a YouTuber, Instagram, and anything like that, you can get me on Twitter, Caravans and Campers at SY45RP. Follow me, I'll follow you back. And you can also get me on Instagram at the Motorhome Man. And also, you can email the show.
Yep, the Motorhome Show at gmail.com. And also, don't forget podcast The Motorhome Show. You'll be able to find us on there.
We've obviously got our YouTube channels, the Motorhome channel as well. I've got the Motorhome Man. You've got your own channel as well, haven't you, Shane?
I have, yeah, which is just facebook.com/We Buying a Motor Caravan.
Right, mate. I'm just getting it in the ear. The satellites are lining up. We're going over to Europe now. So the rocket launch, they're just delaying it, NASA are, so we can speak to these people. Right, I'm just getting confirmation from NASA. Are you ready? Shall we bring them on?
I'm ready. See if it works. Works.
Hello, can you hear us? Hello.
It's
Hello.
like some satellites are working.
Yeah, Eurovision, yeah.
Claire and Sam, did you watch the launch?
You know what, we didn't actually. We missed it here. But we were discussing it when we were backstage, as you do. And I don't know if you guys saw when they did the original launch and they launched a Tesla car into space with a mannequin in it that was called Starman.
Yep.
And then they played David Bowie's Starman on a loop while they shot this Tesla round Mars. It sounds made up, but it's true.
They slingshotted it off a satellite, and they don't know where it went. They tracked it for a while, and then they lost it.
Yeah, it's how they tested it. This car with this man in it playing David Bowie.
And that's what you said about the rockets landing on the remote, sort of on the sea things. They did that way back then.
Yeah. Go back on YouTube and have a look. It's brilliant.
How'd you go about doing something like that?
I don't know. You have a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money. That's it.
Next stop everywhere.
That's us.
Where did you start, mate? That's Betty.
Hang on, let me put the big light on.
Oh, he's putting big
Put the
light
big
on.
light on.
Ooh, ooh.
While he's doing that, they've got a little fan base. They've got a
Hang
fan
on,
base
put the
as
big light
well.
on.
VW Adventures. Hello.
Okay.
Hello,
Motorhome Chit Chat.
everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, nice to see you all. Thank you. Oi, oi.
Can tell it's life beyond bricks.
Yeah, hello, Tash. Nice to see you. Bob. Hi, Bob. We love Bob.
How did we start then, mate? Sam, Claire, where did it all start from?
you
well,
want to-
yeah,
you-
I'll stand over
over-
most of the talking.
I rabbit on a lot, so I'm going to hand over to Claire. Off you go.
So we got married in 2018, and we thought, well, you know, most people expect us to get married, settle down, buy a house. Well, we did that. We just bought a house on wheels and decided to go and live in that for a little bit.
Yeah, this whole thing of like, you know what? Why follow the tradition? Like we'd come to a point in our life where I was in a job that I wasn't particularly happy with. You were in a job you weren't particularly enthralled with.
Yeah.
We just got married. We were like, we don't know what we want to do next.
Nope.
We don't know where we want to live.
Sorry. Did you buy your house, or what were you doing? Were you renting, or
Oh, no,
what?
it was rented.
The house came with my job, so it made it very, very easy that when I quit my job, the house disappeared. We didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, we were quite lucky in the fact that we didn't have anything to sell. We just handed it back to the owner of the
Yeah,
estate.
and I will say all our belongings are still sat in a storage unit.
Yeah, and a bit. So we moved a 3-bed house into a storage unit and then moved into this, and
Yeah.
actually we don't miss any of that stuff, do we?
No.
So what was the plan? What was like? Right, let's just. How did you do it? What?
Someone hit him with a hammer, it might get it out.
Yeah, there you go. He's like an old Talbot. Hit him with hammer. Hit him with hammer.
Initially, we were like, let's have a 12-month adventure. Then we started
Like a
planning
gap year.
15 months, 18 months.
Well, it was
and then...
it was originally going to be like let's find where we want to go. Let's go
Yeah.
and let's go and do a bit of a research trip. Let's see parts of Britain, parts of Ireland, parts of Europe. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to live? What do we want to do? And it was going to be 12 months, and it's just sort of rolled on from that.
Yep. As everyone else in the full-timing community
It's what
knows,
happens.
you plan a set amount of time and then
Yeah,
that
you're
doesn't
like,
happen.
it's going to be 6 months, and then it's 8, and then it's 12,
Yeah.
and then it's 15, and then before you know it, it's like 15 years, and you're like, where's my life gone?
Which motorhome did you pick?
Go on, Sam, I'll let you handle
well,
this.
okay,
Yep.
I've got all the
It's all
numbers. So we have got it's a Swift Freestyle SE C205. So it is the Loudham's Dealer Special Edition version of
Where's
the
that?
compact
Some
C205.
great pictures there, mate.
Yeah, that's on
Sky.
Camping Sky on the Isle of Skye. That is. That is on the Outer Hebrides.
Wow.
Yeah. Some great
That
photos.
that is actually where we are
Right
now. So
Yep.
I
that's
can see you in there. I can see you.
Yeah.
We're waving.
Can you see us? Can you see? If you look closely, we're waving right now.
So sorry, yeah, about your motorhome. How did you pick?
Yes.
What was your choice? Why did it appeal to you?
So there were two main things. There was the size.
Yep.
So we wanted something that we knew we were going to do a lot of touring. We knew we were going to be going to. Our big plan was to go around the UK and Ireland and stuff like that. So we knew we were going to be going to places like we went to the Shetland Islands, the Orkney Islands, the Outer Hebrides. So we wanted something small that could get up fairly big hills. And we did the whole of the Wild Atlantic Way in Ireland as well. So again, that's because some of that can be quite tight and twisty. So we wanted something that was 6 meters, which is what we ended up with.
Well, technically 5.99.
Swift say it's 5.99.
You've seen the type that probably did a lot of research.
Yes, yeah, we did. We went to the big NEC show.
Well,
didn't
you
we?
say we did a lot of research. So we went to our very first motorhome show was the October 2018 show at the NEC.
Yeah, it was literally like a week after we got married. We got married at the end of September, and then we went to the motorhome show like a week or 2 weeks later.
Yeah, we got back from our mini moon and then went straight to look at the
yeah,
motorhomes.
we were like, you know what, we're just gonna do this. Why
Did
not?
a lap. We knew we had sort of a short list because we've done a bit of research.
So I'm sure as many full timers will agree, there's certain things as a full timer you need that's on the tick list. So there's the fixed bed is always a great thing because it's useful to not have to take the bed up and down, store all your bedding, and actually be able to use the bed as storage space during the day. Having a garage of a decent size, so yeah, that's the size of the garage in ours, is a real plus. And our garage is a real lifeline for us. It's got our barbecue in it. It's got our inflatable awning in it. It's got the bikes in it.
Well, it doesn't have our inflatable awning. We left that behind.
What in the UK? We didn't just leave it somewhere.
No, we didn't
At
just
the
leave it somewhere.
services.
But we didn't bring it with us to Europe.
No, that's all right. But that's a real benefit to having a garage space. Is that being full timers, you can put so much stuff in there. You know, even if it comes down to clothes and shoes. Like because we've been traveling for so long, we have stuff that we wear in the summer, stuff that we wear in the winter, and you've got to kind of figure out, like, I've got big coats, but I'm not going to use them in the summer, so you have to have somewhere to put them.
Yeah, vacuum bags.
Yeah,
great investment.
And for us, it was about we wanted the full kitchen, so we've got the full with the big fridge and the oven and grill and the 3-burner hob.
Yeah, so
sink.
I had my little tick list, and I'd walk into a motorhome and I'd go, nope, it's only got a 2-burner. I need a 3-burner. I want an oven and a grill. Nope, walk straight back out.
Yeah. And
cross that off the list.
This at the time, the Swift, what is the fact? Well, we've got the fancy version of the Escape Compact C205. It just ticked all of the boxes for us. It was only going to be for the two of us. We didn't want to have extra berths or extra space, and it just ticked all the boxes, didn't it? And that was kind of the reason we went for it. And then we looked at the standard Swift version, and then we were wandering around the big stands of the dealers, saw this version for Loudons, and thought, oh well, it's pretty much the same price, but it comes with it's got the silver cab, and it's got the nicer bits inside, solar panel, a better trim. It's just got a few extra bits and pieces that made it slightly nicer, and actually came with the Loudons name attached to it, which was a bit of a reassurance for us. And
the colour makes it look a lot better as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not just a big white box.
Yeah, the escapes can be very very white. A bit too white.
I mean, the side of ours is bad enough as it is when you get up in the morning and walk outside and walk back to it and think
it's a bit blinding. Yeah, but it just makes it look a bit nicer. You know, we've got the toned down graphics on the side, so everything's in sort of shades of grey, which makes it look a bit nicer and just
And it's actually quite a rare colour scheme, ours, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Loudons special edition that ours is, I think, was only available for a year.
They only did the freestyle in this model for 1 year, and now they've changed it to the high style,
something like that. Yeah.
So, but you know what? It's been one of the things. We bought it, we've loved it, and
we still love it,
and we wouldn't change it.
Yeah,
we really would.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah. With no. I mean, the thing we like about this is everything we need in a space that's 6 meters long by about 2 and a bit meters wide.
Yeah, it fits in a standard car parking space as long as you've got a smidge of overhang.
Yeah, and that's that. And again, I think was the other thing, wasn't it? We intended to spend a lot of time off grid.
Yeah.
So we were parking up in long stay car parks. We were going to Brit stops, which we absolutely love, by the way. Brit stops are brilliant. We were going to those, and we wanted something that was going to be small, that could fit in a standard car park space, that we could just tuck out of the way, not be a nuisance, and it just ticked all the boxes, and we love it. And there's not been a point where we've gone, oh, I wish we'd had something bigger or something wider.
I mean, we had
or
something bigger.
Taller.
We stayed in the centre of the city of Cork in Ireland.
Yeah, we did. We stayed in the church car park.
Church car park, yep.
In Cork, which was an experience. But we found that with quite a bit of Ireland, is some places are very welcoming to motorhomes and some places aren't.
Yeah.
Cork weren't, but this one car park was great. So
car park.
But because we were a small van, we could fit in the standard car parking space.
Yeah.
So for us, size and stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
Size and stuff is what made us choose this van. Layout as well, as you guys were saying earlier, it's all about layout. That's what makes or breaks the van for you.
Yeah.
You know,
what suits you, Sam, might not suit somebody else.
Exactly. Yeah. You could go for the fanciest van ever, and actually it doesn't fit.
How many miles are on the clock?
Just over 13,000.
I'm glad you know that, because I ain't got to keep just over.
Did I drive it the last?
You've done quite a bit of the driving, because I've done quite a bit of the filming. So yeah.
I drove it to the shops last.
Yeah.
So.
How did YouTube start?
Well, the main reason was for family and friends, really, and particularly for my for my 86-year-old gran.
I think she's 87.
87-year-old gran. She's getting older. she basically, when we told her what we were going to be doing, going off for a year, having this big adventure, doing all those kind of things, she was like, "Oh, there's something I've always wanted to do. I really wish I could come with you." So we were like, "Well, if we create these little videos, we can kind of send them back to her, and she can watch them and kind of come on the road with us."
Yeah, and we chat to her on, on WhatsApp. She's a proper technogram.
Yeah. She uses WhatsApp and Facebook and all that stuff, and she's 87, which is brilliant. So we did them kind of for her and also for friends and family, so they could see what we were up to.
And then we just got into it.
And then we just enjoyed it. We enjoy filming it, and we get a great reaction from what we do.
Geeking out on history.
We love history.
Do you know what, as well, though? At some point, your great grandchildren will be watching it, and the great grandchildren will be watching it.
Yeah, that is something that's sort of
I
scary.
love the fact that we are making this sort of permanent record.
Yeah.
Of it, like we haven't got to go back and just get, every so often you get something on Facebook that says, "Oh, 3 years ago you did this, 4 years ago you did this." Well,
Whereas
actually, we've got a video record of.
And not only that, but I've done the old school thing as well. I've actually created a scrapbook.
Yeah, old school scrapbook, like of all the tickets and
because I mean you can buy the modern version now of the Polaroid camera. But I skipped that and I bought the printer. So any photos you take on a camera, a phone, you can print them off on that instant film, and it gives the same effect. And I put those in a scrapbook with receipts, tickets, and write down what we did.
Yeah, so we're doing the new technology with the YouTube, and then doing it old school. So when we're like old and grey and sitting in our chairs, we can look at our scrapbook and go, "Oh, wasn't life grand back then?"
When we don't know how to use the modern technology.
When we newfangled technology, we're like, "Look, we've still got it on paper."
Have you seen that film, Up?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it broke me out the first 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it's a tearjerker.
It's a proper,
It's good though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, where are you then?
Well, we're currently about 20 minutes away from Billund. Is probably
in Denmark. Just
yes,
to underline that, in Denmark.
In Denmark.
And how have you got there?
Do you want me to go for this one?
No, I can.
All right, you can.
Yeah. So our big plan was we were going to set off. We had the ferry booked. We got on the ferry on the 13th of March, and we were planning 8 months in Europe,
all the way around Europe. Yeah,
we didn't really have a defined come back date. We were just like, we'll just go into Europe. We hadn't booked a ferry back.
Massive road trip, wasn't it?
We got on the ferry and we thought, this is a bit quiet. And we asked
really...
the staff. We said, "Is this quieter than normal?" Because the coronavirus was known about, but it wasn't a known entity as
it wasn't
such.
A big thing at that point, was it?
No, and we said, "Is it because of the virus?" And they said, "No, it's just the time of year. It's quiet and it's a daytime ferry."
It was eerie though. This ferry was like empty. There was no one on it.
From Harwich to the Hook of Holland, and there was just nobody on it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got into Holland, we got into the Netherlands on the evening.
Mm-hmm.
We sort of settled down, had a bit of dinner, and we heard on the news that Denmark were closing their borders the following day at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, so the reason we were heading for Denmark is we had got a ferry booked to go to Iceland. So we were going to take our little motorhome on the ferry from a place called Hirtshals on the very northern tip of Denmark all the way to Iceland.
And that was on the 28th of March.
And then do a month in Iceland and then come all the way back. So there was the thing that said the borders are closing.
Yep.
But there was the main thing was that the ferry was still running. So we had paid upwards of £2,000 for this ferry because it's like a 3-day crossing.
It's 3 days there, 3 days back. And that's food and the motorhome and us.
It's like a big cruise ferry thing. So we were like, well, we need to run to Denmark because otherwise we're going to lose out on this money. And actually we might lose out on the opportunity to go to Iceland.
Yeah.
And at that point, again, we still had no idea how big this thing was going to become.
No. So we ended up driving. We stayed overnight in the Netherlands, and then we drove. Actually, no, we didn't, did we?
No, we didn't. We ate our pizza, and then we
were
packed the van
planning
up,
to stay.
and then we drove for 4 hours.
About 2 a.m. we ended up in Bremen in Germany.
We got to Bremen in Germany, at 2 a.m. Slept for
5 hours.
5 hours,
and then got back on the road and crossed the border into Denmark half an hour before the borders closed.
Yeah, the borders were going to close at noon. We crossed at 11:30, and all the border police guys were there, like looking at us, like they saw us heading towards them in a British registered van, and they were sort of like, "Where do you think you?" And then we'd already gone at that point.
Yeah, the guy stepped forward, looked at our plate, and then just sort of went.
Yeah,
it was too late by that point.
So then we crossed over the border, rolled up to basically an air that we found, and thought, okay, we need to we need to figure this out. We
Yeah.
need to figure out where on earth they're going to go from
and
here.
we were relatively settled initially because we parked up on this and there were 4 other vans.
The German
There were
van,
3,
the German
so
vans,
3
yeah.
German and
A
1
Danish
Danish.
van.
But then the news overnight, that night on the Saturday, was that the Germans were closing their border from Denmark.
So
So
all the
Were you
Germans
worried?
cleared off.
we were a little bit.
It's just, you always get that apprehension of the unknown, don't you? We at that point we were still positive that the ferry to Iceland would run, and you know what? If we got on a ferry to Iceland and ended up stuck in Iceland for a month, actually that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, what's the worst?
That's every cloud and all that. But as we kind of ventured a bit further into Denmark and headed further north, the ferry was cancelled, and we were like, okay, what do we do now? Then it started to get a bit real.
Yeah, we were a bit like, right, so now we're currently in a foreign country. We don't speak the language. Admittedly, the Danish speak amazing English.
Fantastic English.
They speak better English than a lot of English people.
But it was that, we were like, okay, now we don't have a campsite. We don't know anyone in this country. We are 800 odd miles from home.
And if we went back, because obviously the foreign
Commonwealth office has suddenly said, right, if you're British, you've got to come home.
But that's advice.
As advice.
Yeah.
But as full-timers, we got nowhere to come back to. All the campsites in the UK were closing. And we were like, well, if we go back, we got nothing.
And we contacted the British Embassy in Copenhagen, and they said, if you've got somewhere to stay, somewhere safe, then stay. There's no point putting yourselves at risk.
They said you'd be safer to stay here if you've got somewhere permanent to stay than drive all the way back.
And that's when I reached out. So Facebook group. I found a Facebook group because obviously there's lots of them out there in different countries where it's groups of British people join together to give support to everyone else. And we wrote a message, had a bit of a shout out, and said, "Can anyone help us?"
We just put our story on there and said, "Look, if you guys are in this situation, what would you do?" To British people in Denmark, this big Facebook group, what would you do? And
I think we had over 50 replies. Some people saying we've got a spare room, if you come and stay. We've got a campsite, you can come and stay with us.
It was fantastic.
But we took the offer of a British family that own a farm
just outside
Billund, which is where Legoland is. So if anyone knows Sam, they'll know that's why we chose it.
Yeah, I love Lego, but there you go.
And yeah, so we took up that offer, and we just sort of, we took a risk. We didn't know them, they didn't know us.
We headed back down here, and now we've been here for 78 days. 78 days.
Wow.
So it's all on. We're hoping to continue, but it's all on pause, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you get, it's not like you can go back home and see everybody and do things as normal. So you might as well be in a place that you want to be. You can still work remotely.
Yeah, it's as Sam said, we don't have a home to go back to. This is our home.
Yeah, we do. Your home is literally, as our logo says, your home is where you park it.
Yeah.
And this is where we've parked it for the last 77 days. 78.
Probably a lot of people will be asking is how do you fund this?
And that one's over to you again.
So I'm
sorry.
It's all right. We share. We're a good double act, aren't we?
We are.
It works well. So I run my own little graphic design business, but I run it completely paperlessly and out of the van. So we've got a Wi-Fi system fitted to the van from Motorhome Wi-Fi, and we've got a SIM card that allows us data access anywhere in Europe.
Yep.
And I do all of my work on the very laptop I'm speaking to you from now. And then all of my billing and everything like that is done through an online account system. And then everything is done completely paperless.
Yeah. And anything that has to be posted, we have a postal address. Sam's parents are our postal address back home.
My parents have been very kind to let us use their postal address when we send back stuff back home. So, I mean, you can run a business, a small British business, as long as it's an online-based business or dealing with clients completely remotely. I mean, I use technology like this, Zoom and Microsoft Teams to talk to my clients, and it just, the system works. You don't have to have traditional bricks and mortar.
Yeah.
Now,
thank you, Motorhome Chit Chat.
This is brilliant because you can base your office as where you're sitting now.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
And
I'm literally sitting in my office chair now.
He sat on the opposite side to where he sits for his office.
This is my office right now.
How inspiring is that? How many other people, when this is blown over, who are renting their houses, renting an apartment, renting whatever, who can do the same type of job as you, go and buy a motorhome and go and sit and have the views that you have.
Yeah, it's true. You don't. There's this whole kind of stigma that says if you're going to open a business, you've got to have an office and you've got to have a property and it's got to be this and it's got to be that. For certain types of jobs, you just don't need it.
You think outside the box.
Yeah, and if anything, I'm hoping that one of the positives to take out of the COVID-19, the coronavirus thing, is people realizing that they can live their lives a bit more flexibly. So they can work from home, they can work remotely, they can use technology to run their own businesses from wherever they want their business to be.
Yeah, I mean, there's things like I spoke to Jason about this. I'd rather get into work, get it done, and get home.
Mm-hmm.
And also a bit like there's going to be a lot of companies that have got big, expensive offices in London and so on in the cities, and they're going to sit there and think, "Do I really need to be spending that money on this when everybody can just work from home?"
And I mean, I'm the same. I spent 10 years commuting from where we lived near Milton Keynes into London and back. And it nearly killed me. I was like, I would never do that again. I've discovered a way of life that
you're a lot healthier now. You don't have to commute.
A lot healthier and a lot happier. And I've discovered a way of life that is genuinely, making me happy and is life affirming. So why would I?
That's it, though. You could literally go all around Europe, carry on doing your job. Oh, I like it here. I'll stop here a few days. Move on.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
It just now. I did watch. It's not your last video you did. It was the part 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
That you did. Your videos are so good, No, seriously.
As a compliment, thank you.
No, seriously, they really, really are good. I was telling Shane about them today. I said that they're really well edited. They're brilliant, honestly. And if nobody's seen them, next stop everywhere, watch the videos. They really, no, seriously, they're really good videos. But one thing from what I got from your video was how good are the pitches and the card system are in Denmark.
Oh, it's good, isn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah. Wow.
Apparently, that's very common
in Europe.
Here. In Germany and Denmark, it's very common.
Never saw it.
You don't need cash. You just load it up, and then everything goes on the card. It's brilliant.
Yeah, although you got to get used to the currency because it was like, oh, that's not expensive, and then you go, oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah, it's an amazing system. I mean, it's amazing in one way that it's so easy, but in another way you pay for stuff without even knowing it. That's the problem, isn't it?
Can you just explain it to everybody?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
So if you haven't seen, it's on the first part of our Denmark pandemic adventure on YouTube.
Brilliant.
Check it out. Nice little plug there. So basically, it is one where you arrive at the camp. So this wasn't really a campsite; it was more like a fancy air.
Yeah.
You arrive at the campsite. You go to a machine. There's no person to check you in. You go to a machine.
And the best thing is, the machine is in multiple languages, so people who don't speak foreign languages don't have to panic.
People like us Brits who are like, I'm scared by foreign languages. I don't know what it is.
You don't have to shout at the machine. It's fine. You can just push the Union flag button.
Just push the Union flag and all will be well.
Yeah.
You go to this machine, put your card in, say how many nights you want to stay for, and then it will preload your card with some money and a bit of a security deposit. And then that card, so when you then choose your pitch and you put your pitch number in, and it registers you to that pitch, and then you use that card to turn the electricity on your pitch.
Yep.
You also use it to use the shower where you get a set amount of time.
Yep.
The site we stayed on also had a sauna,
Yep.
so you could use it for the sauna if you wanted to, even down to like the washing machine or even the dog wash.
Yeah, there was a dog wash.
You just use the card and it deducts the amount from your card every time you use it, which is a brilliant system, but also dangerous because you're not quite sure how much you're spending.
Yeah, and then if you go over, obviously you've got a preloaded amount. If you go over that amount, then your payment card is deducted that amount.
Yeah.
But you pay, Sam said, you pay a deposit on the card, so it just deducts it from the deposit.
And then when you take the card back, when you leave, you put the card back in and deposit the card, and it puts the security deposit back on your
less any overspending
back on your debit card. It's brilliant, really simple, really easy, really effective. I
like the little tag on the pitch that you could turn to say it's been in used.
I know it was something so simple, but it was really. I was like, why is nobody else doing this?
Why are UK
literally a green, flip to red. It's so simple, and I'm like, why is no one doing this?
Yeah.
Lee and Laurie just subscribed.
Oh, thank you, Lee and Laurie.
Brilliant.
But we've got to catch up to them, haven't we, with campsites?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, the Europeans have been doing it longer, haven't they?
Well, and as we've seen here, like in Germany and in Denmark, the roads here are built for it. Everything's just built for motorhoming. There's airs everywhere. They're a lot more open to off-grid camping as well.
I mean, it's what Sam was saying about the road. So we're in a very rural location here. So you drive out of here and we're on a country road. What would be in the UK, hedge road?
Yeah, it would be.
And very narrow. Whereas, there's big trucks going past. I mean, I say every day. They haven't been past the last couple of days. They're big wind turbine builders here.
Yeah.
And we get 120 wheel lorries coming past at 8:30 every night.
But that's
with
why
parts of wind turbines.
And that's why they build the roads as well and as wide as they do here. For those
and there's no
kind of
potholes.
things. But for motorhomes, it's perfect. It's a very relaxing, very easy way to drive. And I think mainly it's the Germans that come here in their motorhomes to Denmark, and those guys come in massive, like Concords and things like that. These
when we parked
buses.
up next to one on there, it made our van look like, I don't know, something like a mini.
Our van has never felt so tiny. Never felt so tiny since we arrived here.
What's the future?
Well, it's a very good question.
Yes.
Because do you know?
No,
we don't know.
At the moment, we're waiting day by day to see what the border restriction lifts are going to be.
Yeah.
We did see it in the comments about Legoland, because obviously I mentioned Sam's a big Lego fan.
Yes.
We have booked tickets.
Yes, there you go. Bob said, "Have you?" We have tickets to go to Legoland, Bob.
And Lego House.
I'm very excited. Probably more than I should.
Yes.
For a 36-year-old man.
Because they haven't actually been open. They don't open here until Legoland doesn't open until the 8th of June, and Lego House doesn't open until the 22nd.
Which is like the Lego Museum, isn't it? Type thing. So basically, we're just waiting. We're just doing what everyone else is doing. The Tread the Globe we mentioned earlier. Those guys are in Turkey. Yeah. There's various people in various full-timers that are even in the UK or around Europe that are just. We just got to wait it out. Denmark is starting to open up because they've had so few cases of the coronavirus here because they locked down so early. But Germany's starting to open up, and we're now just waiting for discussions on international borders and things like that.
We are planning to do a bit of traveling around within Denmark.
Yes, that's our next plan, is to try and see a bit more of Denmark.
Yeah, because the museums and everything are opening up now.
It's an absolutely stunning country. It really is. I had no idea how beautiful Denmark was until we got here.
It's not one you think of with motorhomes at all, is it?
No, and and people should, because it's so well built for it.
And it's not far.
There's campsites. You drive when you come out of Germany. You drive into the bit of Denmark called Jutland, which is the sort of western
or Jutland.
Or Jutland, as the British would say.
Yeah.
It's Denmark's kind of split into 3 islands. Jutland, which is connected to Denmark, and then you've got
Germany.
Jutland, which is connected to Germany. You've got
Fyn,
which is the middle island, and then Sjælland, which is the main island where Copenhagen is.
Yeah, which is spelt Zealand.
And they're all linked with massive bridges. But the bit you come into here, Jutland, from Germany, is beautiful, scenic, rural. There's campsites everywhere. There's airs everywhere. The roads are wide and open.
Yeah.
It's not. I will say it's not a very cheap place to come.
No, but that's the same with any Scandinavian country.
But it's cheaper than Norway, Sweden. Maybe not Sweden, but it's definitely cheaper than Norway.
Yeah.
But it's. I would definitely recommend if people are going into northern Germany with their motorhome or heading to Poland, just detour into Denmark and have a look, because it's gorgeous.
How long do you plan on being on the road? What's the future?
Again, that's again. We're like, do you know? Because I don't know. No. We don't know, honestly. It's.
Well, I think initially we were planning to come back for the October NEC.
We were going to come back for the October NEC show, because we're really we've become really good friends with Loudon's, our dealer, who sold us this van.
So we were there in February.
We really like those guys. They've been really good to us since we bought the van. They've been super helpful. We've had no issues, but they've just been really great with everything and checking in with them regularly and stuff like that. So we were going to come back and see them and go and see them at the show and do a bit of work.
Nobody knows if that's going ahead yet.
So that we were going to come back for that, but if it's not going ahead, there's nothing bringing us back, is there?
Nope. And going back to Iceland, because obviously we'd planned to get the ferry to Iceland and then that was cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
We are moving that to next year.
Yeah, we got the money back, so hopefully we can do that next year.
Yes.
That's the plan anyway.
I haven't asked you, what's your motorhome called?
Could
have a name.
It's always an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sam?
this it will raise a few eyebrows, but
Yeah.
also make a few people confused, but also raise a few eyebrows.
Yeah,
won't
so
it?
obviously during lockdown, everyone's got into watching Netflix, and I'm sure it's come up on a few people's suggestions. But RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes, RuPaul's Drag
It's
Race.
not to do with cars; it's to do with drag queens.
Drag queens, yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I got into watching that well before lockdown. I mean, I got into watching that a couple of years ago. I think.
loved it.
Got Sam into it.
I love it too.
Yep. And I believe it was, I think Tash from Life Beyond Bricks corrected me. It was season 10 and season 11. There was a contestant called Miss Vanjie.
Yeah. So we thought Vanjie works for a van.
Yeah.
So we named our van Miss Vanjie. So our van is affectionately, essentially named after a drag queen.
A drag queen, yeah.
So I'm not sure many people would name their van after a drag queen, but that's us. Why not? It's
A bit different.
it's great fun, and she's great. Rolls up those hills and everything, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Can't say much more to that, can you, Shane, to be honest?
No.
Do you ever see yourself getting a campsite or doing anything like that?
Oh, I think that would be
That would be the dream.
the dream. The big dream is
Once we figure out where we want to actually settle,
Yeah.
as such.
so the big dream is essentially we know there's a massive gap for what campsites offer currently in the UK and what people actually want, and particularly what full-time van lifers want.
Yes.
So we want to try and create something that fills that gap, so people can come and have a holiday and go on the campsite and do the usual stuff, but we want to try and offer something that's a bit more tailored to younger people. There you go, Miss Vanjie. Tailored to younger people, but also
After I
tailored
spoke to you about this in the week, it got me thinking. It got me quite excited, actually,
Yeah.
because, like you said, there's a gap in the market for the younger people, and
There
you
is.
could actually, how this, and also full-time vans as well. You could have a business park, but it's a campsite.
Yeah.
Now, you could have, like a what do you call it, your coffee room or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say a bit like Starbucks, where you got connections and you got good Wi-Fi and everything like that.
In night time, you have your entertainment on at night, and then in the day, you turn it into a business hub.
Yeah. And then we were very inspired by the campsite we saw here in Denmark, because we could use that card-based system to create something that's a bit more, using modern technology that's a bit more open to younger people and full-timers.
Yeah, and I've also...
The networking you could get involved into as well, though, couldn't you? Because you could have certain industries for that weekend and things. And it got me really excited about it because, like you say, the campsites, I've got a lot of catching up with younger ones. And what you were doing, I think a lot more people... I think anybody who's watching this, your age, I was that age, I'd be going, I'm having a piece of that. I'm going for that.
Yeah.
And seriously, but it could be a business hub, a business park, a leisure park. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And that's the thing.
One of our ideas is that kind of thing, But there's many options. I mean, one of the things that we've been going around,
This is the other thing. Yeah.
we've looked at also we stayed at many campsites, and I mean, Sam and I are both able-bodied. We don't have any necessarily special needs,
Physical needs or anything like that.
or anything like that. But most campsites, they don't have places. There's nowhere for people in wheelchairs or have got children. That say a family's got an autistic child, a severely autistic child, you can't take them to a standard campsite.
That's the other gap in the market is, for children and
safe haven
children and
campsite.
for young adults that have physical or behavioural difficulties. Being outside and being in the great outdoors is really good for that sort of thing.
It's very therapeutic.
But not a lot of campsites cater for that sort of sort of client.
And a lot of people will have them in public spaces, but changing places, toilets,
stuff like that. Where there's.
I've never seen a campsite with one of those.
Yeah, where adults can actually be changed and things like that.
Yeah.
We think that's another area that we could potentially look into. That is a huge gap in the market. A lot of families that have children or young adults with those kind of things would love to be able to take them away more often in motorhomes or caravans, and at the moment they don't necessarily have that option.
I also think that's a little bit of a gap in the market with the motorhomes as well, because to get a disabled conversion motorhome, it's God, you just don't. You don't come across them very often, and if you do, my God, the the conversion costs are expensive.
Yeah,
I know there are
saw-
grants and
we
things
saw-
available, but it won't cover that.
We saw one at the NEC, didn't we?
Yeah.
There's companies that convert them, and we saw one at the NEC. And there's a lady who we follow quite often, Carla Baker, who uses a van that's been a caravan that's been converted, being towed by a Volkswagen Transporter that's been converted, and she's really inspirational in where her and her partner go and what they do. Really kind of saying to heck with disabilities or anything like that. We're going to go and enjoy our lives and have an adventure.
Yeah.
And those guys really kind of inspired us to think, well, where are these gaps in the market that that people like that can be catered for?
Something to think about there, isn't there?
There you go.
Yeah, there's a lot more we can do over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're full of ideas. Who knows if we can actually achieve?
Lots of ideas, not a lot of anything else.
Do you know what? You two have had a blast.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
we've
we've
had
loved
a
it
blast
too.
too,
It's been great to be on. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's
Will you
keep, we're an hour ahead of you.
will you keep in touch with us so we can follow your journey?
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely,
of course.
definitely.
I mean, we're on YouTube. We're updating YouTube all the time, really, with where we go. But yeah, we'll definitely keep in touch with you guys, and we want to come on now and again and share where we've been up to and all that kind of stuff.
With our motorhome Wi-Fi, we are good whenever.
And we watch every Sunday anyway.
We
We're
do.
regulars, so it's all good.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. But anybody who haven't seen the videos, watch them. I've got to watch the second one. Like I say, I've watched the first one, then I'm going to watch the second one. But
Right,
brilliant.
And then go back and watch some
We've
of our
got a hell of a back catalogue.
some of our stuff from we did 7 months around the UK and Ireland last year. So there's a massive back catalogue of stuff that we've done.
Oh, well, your editing's great. Brilliant.
Thank you. Well, yeah,
Brilliant.
appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Shane, anything?
No, brilliant. Like I said, I'm just interested to see how it goes from now going forward, and where you end up, and when you can go to Legoland.
Yeah, we're interested to find out as well, aren't we?
Yes.
All right, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
No
Cheers.
problems. Take care. See
See you soon. Bye.
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 Brilliant, Shane, eh?
Yes, let's just get Leon for the last few minutes just to.
I bet you like Lego, don't you?
I love Lego. You can see it behind me. It's everywhere. Lego Star Wars. It's everywhere. It's in our bedroom. We've actually got a big bookshelf on the side of the bed that's full of Millennium Falcon, X-Wing fighters, loads of stuff.
It's like jigsaws, aren't they? Once you start, you can't stop, can you?
Yeah. My brother-in-law's just had the Lego Death Star, and I'm really jealous because I want it.
You like Star Wars as well, don't you?
I love it. Yeah, yeah.
Did any questions come up about motorhomes?
Yeah, we had a question from Danny Stroud. Oh, you've got it there. Yeah, I only have a single leisure battery locker, but might consider adding an additional battery. Is it okay to put it under the seating within the van? Would it need to be in a box? Difficult. My advice always, if you fit in a second battery, it should always be in a sealed unit. You do find my motorhome itself came and the leisure battery is underneath the seat. You can put them under the seat. They do need to be vented through the floor, with your breather pipe. The
You can buy
important
the
thing
boxes
is,
for them, Lee, though, can't you?
yeah. My advice really would be to find somewhere to put it where you can put it in a sealed box. You don't want it too far away from your battery locker anyway, because of running cables and everything. Make sure it's wired up in parallel. But most importantly, you need to have a battery of around the same ampage, and really the same age. You don't want to be putting an old battery that could be getting tired and then buy a brand new, 105 amp hour battery or whatever, because one dies. It's best having two new ones of the same size and age. And like I said, wire it in parallel. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, the amount of vans you see, don't they, where they've not been wired in right.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else, Shane?
Nope. I think we're all good to go at that.
Right. I've had a blast tonight.
Yeah, it's gone quick again.
Hasn't it? We've gone international. We've got Lee.
That was. I tell you what, that was quite interesting. That about them, that those guys were just saying about the sites.
Yeah.
Once it though, mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think now, I'd be inspired if I was somebody who I was renting and I worked doing computers, graphic design or something like that. What a great life to live, mate.
Well, we said when we were talking the other day, we said ourselves, this lockdown, you said it before, people are going to think, do I really need an office anymore? I can work from home, and like you say, you've got these guys working from a motorhome. I've been to sites where people have actually been staying on a site with a motorhome and working from it, and it's.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I say, the clubhouse could be a business hub in the day, good for networking and everything. Then at night, you think of how many what are the clubhouses that are not even open in the day, but they'll open at night, where they could make more use of selling tea, biscuits, and cakes while people are working and turn them into a bit of business hub, really. Well, yeah.
I've always thought, I remember when we first started caravanning, and my wife was always saying that, I'd love it if we had a site and all this, that, and the other. I wonder if your feelings on what you do going away yourself would change if running a site. Do you know what I mean? Does the appeal of what going and doing what you're doing suddenly disappear when you're actually doing it day after day? I mean, people say to me, isn't going away in a motorhome or caravan like a busman's holiday for you? Well, no, not really, because I'm not, away working on my motorhome. I'm away having a break.
I think, to be honest with you, mate, with Claire and Sam, I think what they want to do, and I think I'm right anyway, is to do the touring, going around Europe. And I think when they're then all ready then to settle down, is to do something like this, to have a campsite and do that once they've got it out of the system, basically. I am getting a thumbs up in the below, so I was right. So they want to, however many years, and then when they say, right, we've had enough now, let's get yourself a plot of land and do something like that. I can still do my work and then just see how it goes that way, really.
Might be something I'll think of when I'm too old to climb under caravans and stuff like that.
Well, you better think quick then, hadn't you?
Yeah. I'm still not as old as you, Jade.
I know I'll put an awning on them. I'm going to pick it here.
I'm not biting. I'm above all that.
Right.
No, you're not.
No, he's not.
No. He's going to get some abuse.
It was just how he kept blaming me, though, Shane.
No, I blame Kev. See,
now he's blamed someone else because I'm there.
Kev's fault. Kev's fault for stopping us.
Are we done?
Yes.
I need an early night. I've got to get up early in the morning, go back to work.
I'm going to St. Andrews.
What's your first job you've got to do tomorrow?
I've got. To be fair, I'm at the workshop all day tomorrow. I've got 2 full services, a chassis service, a roof light, and I've got someone's Alder heating system to look at tomorrow. So I might be home before dark.
Yeah, right. That's what you tell the missus. Okay, next Sunday, 7 o'clock, we're doing a catch up with caravans, with the caravan place mark, see how his first week's gone, see what the response is like. We did a catch up with Aaron from Camper Buyer, and we've got Wandering Bird on. I'm 99% sure we've got Wandering Bird on. I've got to speak to her in the week. And then I think the following week, we're going to try and get somebody from America on, aren't we? An RV specialist over there and get a different perspective.
Yeah. Yep.
So fingers crossed we can pull that one off. But other than that, I've enjoyed myself tonight. Really have.
It has been good.
Yeah.
It has been good. Some new stories, some good stories.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone. We'll see you all next week.
Yep. See you all soon.
Bye-bye.